So how do you speak to someone through your higher self and have a conversation with theirs? Hey guys, it's John. I wanted to share a story with you. When you look at the concept of who we are, in the Bible it talks about the Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. In my personal belief, God, the Father, is the one consciousness of all. It is the God consciousness. The Son is the physical world consciousness that's separate and feels alone, but is not separate, just is unaware. And the higher self, or Holy Spirit self, is our complete self, who's aware of our divinity, aware of our physicality, and does not have the fears and the anxieties that keep us feeling separate. To me, when I look at this concept of speaking to someone through the higher self, I understand that we are all one. And I understand that my thoughts actually are communication. I was working at the Maryland Renaissance Festival. Walking out of one of my comedy shows one day, I had just killed it. I was a great show. I'm walking up, and to the back of the audience was a man who was a big fan. I had already met him. His name was Steve. And Steve says, "John, I'd like to introduce you to my fiancée, Maria." And I was like, "Well, hello, Maria. How are you?" She said, "Maria would like to read your tarot cards." And I was like, "Oh, great. Sure. Cool." So we went behind the scenes, off the Renaissance Festival site, behind one of the fences. And we sat down at the picnic bench. And she started laying out her tarot cards. And the second I looked at her, I knew that something was not right. She was sick. And I knew she was sick. So she got her cards laid out. I said, "Can I hold your hand while we do this?" She said, "Yeah." So I reached out and I held her hand. And she thought that was a little odd. And then as she read my cards, in my head, I literally said to her, "Are you ready to let this go?" And I exhaled. And when I exhaled and I relaxed, I heard a thought come into my head that said, "Yes, I am." And so I thought again, "Then pass it to me and I'll pass it on." And I felt this, for lack of a better word, rush of energy come up my hand, out the top of my head. The whole top of my head was tingling and hot. We finished our tarot card reading. I let go of her hand. We had a nice little conversation. I said thank you. She said thank you. She went on her merry way. The following week, I come walking up out of the show again, and Steve is standing there, and he's holding a cell phone. Maria's not with him. She says, "Talk to her." I go, "Hello?" She said, "What did you do to me?" I said, "What do you think I did to you?" She said, "I think you healed me." I said, "Then that's what happened. What did you have?" She said, "I had been given a diagnosis of terminal cancer. I only had 6 weeks to live. I don't have cancer anymore. They can't find cancer in my body." When I think of this story, I think of the idea that we are all one, and that communication is not just verbal, it's not just physical gestures, it's thought as well, intention. That's why prayers work, because people are intending, they're thinking, they're sending that beautiful energy. In this regard, because I am now thinking it's coming through my higher self. And as it's coming through my higher self with beautiful, loving intention, her higher self responded. When I asked her, "What do you think happened?" to me, it was about her belief. Now, let's go back to my holding her hand. When you do a tarot card reading, you're moving cards, you're doing all this, and I wanted to hold her hand. It was something out of the ordinary. It was something that broke the pattern of what she would normally do. So it was something that made her realize that there was something happening. And in holding her hand and just sitting there in that state, it gave her a different focus. And then I was able to have that conversation on the higher self level, on the Holy Spirit level. And when we started having that conversation, it became a natural flow of energy. No fear, no anxiety. Are you ready to let this go? Yes, I am. Then pass it to me and I'll pass it on. That place of being in No fear, no anxiety, and simply thinking back and forth. That's speaking through the higher self. That's talking through your Holy Spirit. That is you to your greatest level of advancement. That is you without all your fears. That is you. And you have the ability to do this. Practice it. Talk to people through your higher thought. You know, I walk outside my back door and I go to my back deck and there's deer in my backyard and bunnies in my backyard and they're running around and they're not too far away from my deck. I walk out the back door and all their heads pop up and they look at me and I go, and in my mind I'm going, it's okay, relax. And they all go back to eating. You have the ability to hold yourself in a place that conveys to the rest of the world that you're loving. You have the ability in this place to resonate in such a way that people aren't afraid when they're around you, that they feel your love. And that, my friends, is speaking through the higher self. Live a loving life. Be love. In the end, realize it's just part of the oneness of God, that you and they are pieces of something larger. And all you're doing is resonating and helping that person come to that same resonance, that same place that you are within the oneness of God. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.